We're going to put a little more rain on this landscape in Northern California by the time we get to the weekend. That is next weekend. Look at what you still have for the rest of this weekend, first of all. Sunny and warm. Going to be near 80 inland. Monday and Tuesday are even a little warmer than that. We're going right back into late summer. I'll show you everybody's number on that in a second. But where I want to start this discussion is at the end of the 7-day. Go take a look at Saturday. See what's going on in that terrarium? It is water dripping down the sides of the glass. It is going to rain as we get into the weekend. So let's come back out for the wide view. That's day 7 on the 7-day forecast. What we're going to look at now is the Climate Prediction Center's prognostication for days 8 to 14. So in other words, where the 7-day forecast leaves off and you keep going. The deeper the shade of green on here is communicating a higher degree of confidence that precipitation totals for this time period will be above average. That's all it's saying. You can't get too specific if you go out to day 8, but you can start looking at probabilities. And the probabilities are showing us that we probably got some more rain coming our way by the time we get into that longer range forecast. Let me show you what this system looks like now as we go find it. We look out into the Gulf of Alaska, which still looks really good. Look at the storms brewing out here. That one's not coming for us. Watch what happens as we switch this and let this play forward. There goes the one we were just looking at. There's another one after that. That one's not coming for us either. We're going to watch the time here because it's going to be a little bit before the one we're looking at for next weekend finally gets together. We could see a little rain from it as early as Friday and then perhaps right there. Now that gets us into Saturday. Now it's not necessarily going to look exactly like that when it gets here, but that's a pretty good looking storm should it hold together. So we cannot get too specific yet on timing. Just to say, plan on the possibility for rain coming back by late Friday and then being with us for a good part of the weekend. Probably not the whole weekend, but you got to start thinking about rain for next weekend. And if you wanted to see how much, we can kind of responsibly look at that at this point and just putting the caveat on this that it's too early to really get too specific. But if we look at the 2 long-range models, they're both kind of in good agreement on this. How much rain might we get when this system comes through for next weekend? Well, the American model's saying for San Francisco, anywhere from maybe 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of rain. And if we switch it to the European model, it's pretty much saying the same thing. I don't want to keep that up too long because I don't want you to look at those numbers and go, well, that's forecast. It's not this far out. But when we're going long range like this, there are tools we can use. There was the probability map. There's gauging both of those long-range models against one another to kind of see where they both stand and see if they're telling the same story. And it's nice to see at this point, generally, they are. Anyway, that's not till next weekend. Look at the second half of this weekend. You're still going to be looking at daytime highs that are near 80 inland. It's going to be a 70-degree day at the beach tomorrow. San Francisco will be in the low 70s for much of the first half of this week. Tomorrow, maybe you're right on the verge of it, but you are going to see your numbers go up into the mid-70s for like Monday and Tuesday. And look at the numbers down here. Monterey, I'll get out of the way. There's Santa Cruz, Watsonville, Hollister, Salinas. Welcome to the map, you guys. You got a great looking weekend. All right, we looked at the 7-day forecast for the inland microclimates at the top. Here's 7-day forecast for the Bay, just as nice the next few days. 80 on Monday in general for the Bay. That means the city is at like 74. Peninsula is going to be near 80. East Bay Shore will be there. And that's a pretty drippy looking terrarium there. All right, by Saturday. I'll see you with more on this in the next half hour. Andrea.